Oh my goodness. So I just looked at the results. I've been playing Tomb Raider and I thought, oh, I better check, see if the results are in. And I couldn't see my cross. I could see the winning cross on you and I couldn't see mine. And I was waiting for the picture to render properly. And I thought, oh, wait a minute. That is my cross. Just slightly off the winning cross. But I didn't get closest card or anything. That's probably the closest I've ever been, to be fair. To be fair to me. Um, I was, what was I, 5 pixels out on the X and 6 pixels out on the Y. I've been close before I started making the videos. That was my downfall. But yeah, this is that's probably the closest I've ever been. No, just 5 and 6 pixels out like that. So yeah, it's funny because when you look at the picture when it's sort of zoomed out like it is, like I've got it, because I zoom it in now when I edit a video. But when it's zoomed out now, it looks like my cross is a winning cross. But I know when I zoom it in, when I edit it, it'll be you'll see the gap probably. But yeah, I'm chuffed with that. I got all my money back. All of the £2.40 that I spent, I've got back because I only ever do one cross. Just for the fun of it. What was the average? So the average was 1963. So our average would have been, what's that, 47, 63. Our average would have been 16 pixels out on the X and about 100, no, 90 pixels out on the Y. Well, I'm glad I didn't go too near the average then, because I might have made it into zone 2. I'm not sure how many pixels are in zone 1. But yeah, chuffed with that, guys. I can't complain about the result, certainly. I haven't looked at the judging yet. That might be shocking. There might be like 6 on the corner of the screen and they took all 6 out. I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm chuffed with that. Right, let's have a look at the judging, see what they did. Well, here we are. Here's all, how many judges were there this week? 8 judges and Matt's head judge again. Right, okay, and they've drawn the lines in. Look at this cluster. They've all gone roughly the same. Could you take any there out? I did say so perhaps somebody would go that low, but one of the judges, but chances are they might take it out. Because if they do, you've got a really tight cluster of 7 there. So I don't know. Would I take it out? I'm not convinced I actually would. But going by what they would normally do, if there's one away from the cluster like that, they would take it out. And I don't know. But let's skip to the end and see what... I'm impressed, actually, at how tight that cluster is. Again, it was a very narrow spread from this guy in the front, but it's it was always an issue with the height from the guy at the back, wasn't it? All right, let me skim forward to the end and see if they took anyone out. They did indeed. They took that. They took the lower one out, which I thought they might. Not that it was beyond all realms of possibility, but it was just away from the cluster. So we ended up with 7 judges. Who did they take out? Andy Braithwaite. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't complain about the result, obviously, because I was only a couple of pickles out. But if you drew a fresh line from that player on the right there in the background, back up now through there, took that bottom line out, it would be a very, very tight cluster from a narrow band from both players there, wouldn't it? But yeah, I think even the judging was sensible this week. So yeah, pleased with that. I guess the picture must have been easier than we originally thought it was. Right, talking of which, let's have a look at this week's picture, because I put a cross in yesterday and moved it about 6 times. So there it is. You can see my cross there. Let me point it out. Right, sort of there. That's my first cross of the week. How did I get there? Well, first of all, I put it a lot lower than that. Then I went further to the left because I can't really see his eyeball that well. So I thought, oh, he is looking really, really steep. And then I thought, no, from the angle of his head, I don't think he is. But I didn't want to go straight in front of him, so I still went at a steep angle. So let me just shut up and draw a line a minute so we can see what I'm talking about. That doesn't stand out very well, does it? Let me get rid of that line and put a white one in there. There we are. Should have been on white in the first place. Right. That's better. Right. So So I've gone in that direction now. So because his head's right back, like as far as it goes before snapping, and he's looking up. So it's got to be pretty high. And I hadn't gone that high from this guy over here, but then I moved it higher and went there. So I've just drawn one line from each there, across there. I'm not 100% on it. I've got to be honest, not 100%. Especially on the basis that I changed my mind about 4 or 5 times and just keep moving it, and big amounts too, not just a couple of pixels. But that's where I've ended up at the moment, because the angle of his left eye, which is the right eye as we're looking at it, looks as though he's looking at a slightly different angle and over this side of his head. But of course, he is further back and he is further away. So, but yeah, that's where I am at that moment, because he's got his arms forward. So this player at the front, so he hasn't headed it. Otherwise, he'd have his arms back for thrust. But his arms are forward, so it looks like he's about to catch it on his head, and he's looking, right up at it, quite steeply, but I don't think vertically. But I think this is a sort of angle of head where the judges are going to be very mixed on this, whereas some are going to go further to the left as a steeper angle than I have, and I think some are going to follow the line of his face and go further over here. So I think this week, anybody's guess. Now I got zone 1 and so close to the winning cross, there's a good chance I'll be in zone 4 this week. I'm expecting it. So I'll put that, what was that, first cross of the week, 1651, 1305. I'll put that in the comments section as the first guess of the week. I think somebody said I was going to be the usual nutcase, said I was going to be in zone 3 this week. So, ha. What was I going to do next? Oh, the Revcomps. All right. Thursday's draw, I've got nothing at all on you. There's that fancy camper. These things are over 100 grand new. And this one, this is 2 years old and it's 90,000 cash alternative. So they fetch a lot of money, these things, especially these Heimer ones. But I've got nothing on Thursdays at all. Let's skim down to next Monday. So next Monday, so far, I've got nothing at all. Again, what did interest me? Yeah, I thought about this. 75 grand cash alternative on the Audi. Well, I like the look of the Tiguan. The Tiguan R. Not much else really caught my eye. The Mini was a possibility. But here's the thing. On the weekend, I had a dream. And in this dream, I was telling everybody that I'd won a blue Volkswagen Golf R. So the first thing I did on Monday was to look on all the competition sites that I regularly look at and see which one of them is selling a Golf R, or tickets for a Golf R, a blue one specifically. And I couldn't find it on any site. So I'm keeping an eye out now on all the sites. I'm looking at all the sites, about 8 of them that I possibly play occasionally, just to wait for this blue Golf R to appear, so that I can get tickets on it and obviously win it, as we know I'm going to. This caught my eye though, this Honda Super Cub. I mean, they've made millions upon millions upon millions of these things. And I think this is now the new 2025 revamped version. It's like a cultural icon. Anyway, that's auto draws. Let's have a look at those. What have I got? Well, this is the one I'm winning tonight, the Audi Q3 TDI S-Line Quattro. So it's a manual, 2-litre diesel, 4-wheel drive. That'll do me nicely, madam. Other than that, I've got nothing else on the auto draws yet. I may well do one on the Mercedes convertible, £3.50. So I might, I don't know yet. I'm not going to bother with this. A Golf has appeared on the checkout page. It's a TDI metallic black Golf, so I will play that at one point. I think that's about 6 days away from being drawn yet, but I've got hardly anything at all on Revcomps. I don't think at the moment I've got anything on Dream Car giveaways or 7 days performance. But this weekend we've got the Dacia Bigster being drawn on Friday, so I'll be winning that as well. I'll be parking that then outside next to the Audi Q3, and then on Sunday, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's 2 days later. I'm going to win this Swift Trek. I'm going to win a lot of stuff, guys, and I'm going to win this this superb, fantastic looking Swift Trek, a camper van, and £3,000. I'll have to park that on a storage site somewhere because there's not going to be any room with the van I've already got. The 2 cars I'm winning this week, I just won't have room to park that. So that's anyway. Enough of that. Having a laugh. I've got nothing else going on with any of the other sites. There's a couple I look at regularly but never play. Storm competitions, I don't really play them. Vanny campers, I just don't like them because they lied to me years ago. Other than that, that's it. So let me know how you got on, guys, because the average wasn't that far away. So if you'd gone sort of near the average, you probably would have been zone 1. And I expect 1 or 2 of you may well have got closest car or runner up. So let me know how you got on and leave a coordinate now for Saturday. We'll make another one and we'll see what you guys are thinking because it worked for me this week. Cheers everyone and good luck.